These are the qualifying races for the Rockford 200, the final and most prestigious event of the ARLA Elite Series calendar. Here's a brief rundown of how these races are going to be run. There will be 5 50-lap races, with the top 6 in each race transferring to the mains. The top 2 from each race will go to the A main, 3rd and 4th to the B main, and 5th and 6th to the C main. And now, on to the races themselves. Jamie Flock sat on the pole for the first race with Rip Tyler on his outside. Overcoming through the first couple of corners, Flock slides up into Tyler, and there are already problems towards the back. Jared Anderson in car number 10 slid up into Tyler coming off of turn 2. He spun into the path of the 109 of Michael Carter. Taylor Brillin and TJ Mayer got together and collided with them. Taylor Brillin's damage was terminal. Jared Anderson probably would have been fine, but then he went and did that. Armand Mitro in car number 88 has to pit from second under this yellow. We believe he had a tire going down. In the meantime, Rachel Rainsford leads on the restart in car number 27 with Jamie Flock behind her. Rainsford has run some ARLA races in the past, and her most recent appearance was at Dwyer, where she was her sister Alexis's relief driver. Shortly after Mike Howard in the 610 won his heat race here, his team brought out an entirely new car for him. Howard is giving the Juno AMX-5 its first taste of ARLA competition. However, he isn't doing quite as well tonight as he was in the heat race. The battle for the lead heats up as Rick Tyler in the 555 makes a move on Rachel Rainsford to take the lead. Armand Mitro appears to have bounced back from his flat tire. He currently runs third. Bill Tissam is giving his number 0 Tenaire Thunder a very good run towards the end of the race. Team Thunder brought 3 of those Tenaires to Rockford this weekend, and they have all been very fast in their heat races. However, neither Tissam nor the rest of his competition was fast enough to catch Rip Tyler, who cruised on to take qualifier number 1. And here are your results. Rachel Rainsford makes the A main along with Rip Tyler. Bill Tissam and Armand Mitro will go to the B main. Jamie Flock and Mike Howard transfer to the C main. And then TJ Mayer, Michael Carter, Dustin Wilson, Montana Mosejas, Jared Anderson, and Taylor Brillin all failed to make the race. Anderson and Brillin, of course, went out in the lap 1 incident. Rybert Scott in car number 33 sat on the pole in race number 2 with the 672 of McKinley Martin on his outside. And Scott and Martin slide up into the wall coming off of turn 2 after getting together with each other. That will cause them to lose several positions. It would also hand the lead to Lawrence Burr in the number 68 entry for M&J Racing. However, a few laps later, here comes William Jefferson to take the lead from Burr. Jefferson won his heat race, and it looks like his car is still very good. McKinley Martin is going to bounce back very nicely from his contact with Rybert Scott. He's about to take second from the 13A of Leon Keniston. However, Martin's luck is going to run out when he drifts up coming off of turn 4. He hits the wall and then gets flipped onto his roof by Laura Cyrus in the 42, who won the truck race here just a few nights ago. You also saw the 91 of Cesar Gonzalez Jr. come sliding in. Here we're on board the 91. There is the accident right in front of him. He clips the 42 and goes sliding to the inside and almost slams into the 672. Fortunately, he didn't. There was a bit of a jam up between the leaders and some of the back markers under yellow. William Jefferson tried to pass McKinley Martin on the inside as he was trying to pit, and this resulted in Martin spinning the 133. The officials didn't take too kindly to that. However, they also ruled that Jefferson had to restart in 6th after coming out of the pits. This put Leon Keniston in the lead in his number 13A car. But here comes Rybert Scott in the 33 to take the lead from Keniston. There is Olivier Martinez making a move on Eric Jackson for 3rd. William Jefferson is trying to regain some of that ground he lost, making a move on Leon Keniston to take 3rd. Oh, Olivier Martinez slaps the wall coming off of turn 2. That's going to hand 2nd to Jefferson. Keniston would eventually retake 2nd and start putting a lot of pressure on Rybert Scott, but to no avail. Rybert Scott will go on to take qualifier number 2. Both Scott and Keniston are going to make it to the A main. Eric Jackson and William Jefferson will have to settle with spots in the B main. Olivier Martinez and Lawrence Burr make it to the C main. Daryl Sullivan is the first driver to not qualify. The Vaquero sisters, Serena and Michelle, also failed to qualify. Then it is Cesar Gonzalez Jr., Laura Cyrus, and McKinley Martin. Cyrus and Martin actually went out of the race. And now here is race number 3. Bigsby Foot sat on the pole in his number 14 car with Gary D'Souza in the 149 on his outside. This time, the leader doesn't hit anything right at the start. However, Foot does slide up the track and allow Bruce Wilkinson in the 7 to take the lead. And then a few laps later, John Nasanike in the 47H comes up to challenge Wilkinson for the lead. That is Wesley Savage in third, about to take second from Wilkinson, or at least try to. He doesn't successfully make the move. Unfortunately, Savage's race is going to come to an early end. Jeff Little in the 16 gets together with car number 6, and then Savage is hooked by Bigsby Foot, carried into the inside wall, and several cars come piling in. Anthony Griffith flies about 15 feet into the air. Phil Summers, Fozzie Dionenzo, and Philip Borland were involved, among others, and then Wesley Savage makes an apparent suicide dive into the pit wall. Here it is in slow motion, looking at Anthony Griffith and the 211. Bigsby Foot slides up in front of him. Griffith had nowhere to go, and then Phil Summers, Kyle Eckerton, and Philip Borland come piling in. That launches the 211 into the air and also sent the 14 onto his roof. John Nasanike in the 47A continues to lead on the restart. Bruce Wilkinson is in second, but not for long. Here comes Chris Johans, who won at Decatur last week. He made the move on Wilkinson for second, but he's not done yet. He takes the lead from Nasanike as well. Another driver moving up through the field is Gary D'Souza in the 149. He finished second at Mosport a few weeks ago. His team, Ildist Racing, is planning on retaining him in the 2011 season, as well as merging with Team Wiper, which would expand that organization to 2 cars. It is believed that the second car will be driven by French driver René Ricarmier. Here is Kyle Eckerton, who has fallen off the pace in his 47 Zenith. However, there are only 7 cars left in the race after that big pileup, so all that needs to happen in order for Eckerton to make one of the mains is for someone to have some kind of problem. In the closing laps of the race, Philip Borland is going to take the lead from Chris Johans. Borland is expected to be back with that 99 car for A1 Racing in 2011, and it is believed that that team may also be receiving cars from a major car maker. With 6 laps to go, the racing gods are going to answer Kyle Eckerton's prayers as Gary D'Souza blows up. This would leave only 6 cars running, and normally the officials call the race whenever something like this happens, but they let it run to the end since there were so few laps left. And Philip Borland in car number 99 will go on to win qualifier number 3. And here are your results. Jeff Little took second from Chris Johans with just a couple of laps to go, so Little will go on to run the A main with Philip Borland. Chris Johans and John Nasanike will both go to the B main. Bruce Wilkinson and Kyle Eckerton will go to the C main, and everybody else did not finish the race, starting with Gary D'Souza. Fozzie Dionenzo in the 726 failed to qualify. Malcolm Terez, who I mistakenly referred to as Phil Summers, also failed to qualify. And then it is Wesley Savage, Bigsby Foot, and Anthony Griffith in his last run with that 211 team. It's a shame that ride had to end like that, but thankfully he has a ride with Gravity Racing Inc. lined up for next season. Speaking of Gravity Racing Inc., their one-off entry driven by Rush McLeod sat on the pole for race number 4. That is Liam D'Souza in the 403 on his outside. McLeod drifts up high coming off turn 2 and slaps the wall, opening up the door for Chris Davenport in the number 57 Volpe. However, a few laps later, Davenport is going to be challenged by Ken Groves in car number 74. I believe Groves is trying to make his first ARLA Elite Series race since the season finale in 2008. Then, Henrietta Laverne III in the 00 is going to have a go at the lead. It's been an unusually good weekend for Laverne. She's been very fast so far, and maybe she can finally rack up a decent finish. However, her future is very secure. She has a ride lined up with Zenas in 2011. Holden Roberts took over the 165 car for Jaguar Racing late this season, and he has yet to make a race. Roberts normally runs mid-pack in the ARLA Thunder Trucks, however, it is believed that Jaguar Racing wants to retain him in that car for 2011. Let's go on board with Jim Hayes in the number 02 Tonnerre Thunder, and here's a novel concept: he's very fast. Hayes is currently running in second and trying to run Henrietta Laverne III down. A bad day for the D'Souza family is about to get worse. Liam D'Souza drifts up into the turn 4 wall, he spins and then gets clipped by Nikos Kostopoulos in the 728 car. D'Souza keeps going, but he's got some pretty heavy damage to the back end of that 403 car. Laverne continues to lead on the restart. Jim Hayes dives to the inside to try to take the lead, but they get together and drift up into the turn 2 wall. Hayes gets sideways, Winston White clips the 02, and Laverne is able to get away from that. Let's take another look at how this happened. Hayes just drifted up into the 00, and that pinches both cars into the wall. Not sure if Laverne kept pushing the 02 out of anger. Oh, we've got another accident up in turn 3. Nikos Kostopoulos and Jeremy West appear to have gotten together. Looks like the 728 just got into the wall, and Jeremy West had nowhere to go. Holden Roberts also had nowhere to go, but luckily he doesn't hit the 728. Rush McLeod in the 171 inherited the lead, and that is Cody Richards in the 53 behind him. Chris Davenport continues to hang up in the top 5. He is in third. Cody Richards took the lead from Rush McLeod, and in the closing laps of the race, Ken Groves came back up to the front to take the lead from Cody Richards. Nobody could catch Groves in those final laps, and car number 74 will go on to take qualifier number 4. And here are the results. Rush McLeod will join Ken Groves in the A main. Winston White and Cody Richards will go to the B main. Then Chris Davenport and Jim Hayes in the C main. Even while heavily damaged, Hayes' Tenere was still pretty fast. Holden Roberts is the first car to miss the race. Then it is Nikos Kostopoulos, who took a lot of damage. Then it is Liam D'Souza, Hawk Slider. Henrietta Laverne really fell off after that last restart. And then it is Jeremy West in last. And now, here is the final race of the night. Michael Madrigal drew the pole with Makoto Yamada on his outside. Madrigal drifts up to the outside just like almost everybody has done tonight, and Bill Bloomers takes advantage to lead the first lap. There is a very close call towards the back. Bernie Fellows in the 188 dips below the white line. Mike Andrews goes 4 wide with Fellows, Jessica Graham, and John Steffens. I have no idea how that wasn't a wreck. Mike Andrews was penalized after his heat race, so he had to start in the back, and it looks like he's very desperate to claw his way forward. Aaron Cruz in car number 24 is going to get a run on Bill Bloomers, and he sweeps by to take the lead without much of a problem. There's Scott Woolen in the purple number 06, attempting his first ARLA race and doing a very good job hanging on with the leaders. John Steffens in his number 02 Tenere was predictably very fast. He clawed his way up to second in a very short period of time. There is Mike Andrews in third. He's made his way forward as well. Later in the race, Scott Woolen is able to get around Aaron Cruz to take the lead. Woolen is not very well known, and his entry was sort of a last-minute deal, but he is posting a very decent performance so far. However, Aaron Cruz is going to prey on Woolen's inexperience. He sweeps back around the 06 in the closing laps of the race, and he was pretty much untouchable from there. Aaron Cruz will go on to take qualifier number 5. However, Woolen has no reason to be disappointed because he will make the A main in his very first attempt. John Steffens finished third, Bernie Fellows fourth, Mike Andrews in fifth, Earl McDermott in sixth. Then it is Antonio Cristani being the first to DNQ, and Jessica Graham, Bill Bloomers, Joey Harrison in his final run in that number 100 car, and Michael Madrigal and Makoto Yamada. That is all for the qualifying races here at the Rockford Speedway. I will see you on race day.